Hello, StarkNet family. Welcome back to the Star Cafe. I'm Nurstar, your personal Star barista, and once again, we are ready to serve you some very special StarkNet content. Well, my fam, let's get ready for a special session about one of the most disruptive features that were announced last week on StarkNet, and we're talking about the web wallet designed by the Argent team, which allows you to create and manage an Argentex account with just an email and a password, without having to worry about storing and not losing your seed phrase. So I think, these are great feature, and we've been waiting for it for a while. And anyway, let's jump into the matter by introducing our guest for today, Ismael, product lead at Argent. So hello, Ismael. Welcome to the Star Cafe. How are you?
Hello, Nurstar. Thanks a lot for having me here. I'm great. Happy to be talking about our latest product. I'm Ismael, as you said, a product manager for Argent, and I've been working on the web wallet for the past few months. Super happy to have it out already.
Amazing, Ismael. I'm very happy to have you here as well. And first of all, congratulations for this feature for the web wallet, because I personally know that you've been working very hard for the last few months in order to bring this dream into our reality. So congratulations for that. And this Star Cafe is going to be a light version. Also, we organized it with short notice, so I don't want to abuse of your precious time. So let's jump into the topic, and by asking you, what is the web wallet and how and why it changes the game?
All right. So, web wallet in essence is a wallet for StarkNet that allows users to have a wallet just by entering their email and password. So one of the main things about this is that it doesn't require any download from the part of the user. So the user, when they go to a dApp, they can um, click on the connect button that most apps have, and straight away, if they don't have a wallet, they can enter their email, create a web wallet account, and with that, they can start interacting with the dApp right away. So our goal with this is to ultimately um, uh, have a product for users that might not necessarily know a lot about crypto, and um, mainly, break that barrier of entry that a lot of the users in crypto have today. Because, for example, for Stacknet apps, up until now, if you wanted to use any any dApp in the ecosystem, you had to first go to the dApp, get to know a bit about it, but then you would be faced with this blocker, no, which is that you have to have a wallet to interact with that app. Um, and Then that would break the flow of you getting to interact with the dApps, because you would have to download another wallet. Uh, you would have to learn how to use that wallet. In most of them, those wallets, one of the steps is um, to save a seed phrase. And if you know nothing about seed phrases, that's quite a lot to deal with on the first step. And then also, on top of that, you would have to on-ramp with ETH to pay for the fees for the transactions and all of that, which is quite cumbersome. So we try to remove all this friction from for the users in this product web wallet. And yeah, so users only have to go to the dApp, enter their email, enter their password, and straight away start interacting with the dApp.
Very well, Ismail. And I personally used the web wallet. I created an account with it 2 weeks ago, because actually, even though you announced the web wallet officially last week, some of us noticed that this feature was already available with the Unframed product, which is, for those who don't know it, Unframed is a marketplace, NFT marketplace designed by the Argent team that was launched a couple of weeks ago. It was announced during the last Starknet CC, and as soon as it was it was live, I had a look at it. I also made a tutorial that you can find on the Noorstar YouTube channel, and I created an account using the web wallet feature, and it was very cool, and the UX was very seamless. And I noticed that obviously it's a very good option for people who don't know anything about about this world, because it also allows you to pay up, let's say, your own account, to load your own account with money, but just using your credit card, right? And there's also the option to to send money, to send funds from other wallets. But obviously in this case, the second option for people who already deal with who already have a wallet, let's say, it's not very helpful, right? But I found it very helpful for people who don't know anything about Starknet. So it would be, for us, it would be a very interesting tool to shield to our non-crypto friends, to say, yeah, why don't you try, I don't know, this NFT marketplace and get yourself an NFT. You don't need any seed phrase, it's very easy. It's like logging in into your Google account. And so I found it very cool, and I really enjoyed the experience. I mean, I imagined like being a beginner, right, while using it. And yeah, having said that, I don't know how it works, like behind the scenes. Like, for example, what's the process on the Argent side? Like, do you actually generate a seed phrase and you store it on your own?
Right. So, I mean, you mentioned a couple of things there when you were using it, which, well, it's great that you already use it and created this tutorial. So, thanks a lot for that. Yeah, it's true. We actually released Web Wallet silently a couple of weeks before that, and we were already talking about it with some developers at HCC and Starknet CC back in Paris a few weeks ago. But yeah, the big announcement was done this week. We were monitoring a bit any issues that might have arisen in the past weeks and days. And yeah, everything went well. So we made the big announcement last week. You mentioned also the on-ramp, how you get funds into your wallet in Web Wallet, and that's actually one of the flows that I'm personally most excited about, because at any point you are gonna have to, if you want to do anything on the blockchain, you're gonna have to pay transaction fees, and right now on Starknet, there's in the roadmap, there's gonna be paymasters that are gonna help us pay fees. That's another account being able to pay for the fees of your transaction. But that's something that's not available yet. So in the meantime, all accounts have to have ETH to pay for the fees, right? What we did on Web Wallet, I think it's quite exciting, and it's the fact that when you go to create a wallet anywhere, the first thing that it tells you is top it up, because if you don't have funds, you can't do anything. But here, what we're trying to do is delay that top up until the user actually needs it. Because in most wallets, there's so first you top it up with ETH, and then you decide what you want to do. But I think it doesn't make a lot of sense, because for most users, especially new users that come into the space, they might not really know what they want to do or how much ETH they want to put to uh, to do the stuff that they want to do later on. So what we do on Web Wallet, the way it works is you create your account, you connect to dApps, and at the point where you're going to do your first transaction, it tells you, hey, you don't have enough funds to do this transaction, so you can go to Ramp and buy some ETH there. And it's all in that same flow. So you will see the transaction, it will tell you, hey, you need some funds, you want to buy some now. It goes there, and once the funds arrive, which if it's small amounts, I think less than $50 or even less than $200 in some countries, you can do it without KYC. You do that; it's quite seamless, quite quick, and then you're directed back to the transaction that you were trying to do at the beginning, and then you can sign it. So it all feels like a one linear step-by-step flow that's very easy to follow for mainstream users. One other thing that you mentioned earlier is the comparison to a Google account, and I love that comparison because not only because of how it feels for the user right now, but also of how we look at it or how we think of Web Wallet. So if you want to use Google Drive or Gmail or Google Maps, for most of these services, you have to create a Google account. But you never really interact with your Google account directly. It's just those services include those flows to create a Google account. And then when you go to another service, imagine if I go to Gmail first and I create my Google account, I'm not even aware that I have a Google account. But when I go to Maps, I see that I can reuse that same account that I had for Gmail. And that's what we're trying to create with Web Wallet. Now, on to your question, the question that you actually asked. So how it works in practice. We have our website for Web Wallet, which is web.argent.xyz. And that website runs a lot of code locally. So this is very important. It runs locally on your machine. And that code is in charge of generating a key and encrypting it with the user's password. And that key with the user, that key encrypted, is the one that gets sent to Argent, so that in case you go to another device, you can authenticate with Argent first, and then you will receive that file. You enter your password locally, and it gets decrypted on your device. So Argent never has access to that key. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. The connection with dApps, I think it's interesting to understand the fact that all the necessary files for the keys and everything live on the web.argent.xyz domain locally on your browser. And the connection with dApps is created through an iframe. It's a secure sandbox iframe, so that the websites don't know what the content of that iframe is, but there's a secure bridge between that iframe and the actual website. So only the necessary information is passed through that bridge. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think you asked if there's a seed phrase. Technically, a seed phrase is just one representation of a private key. So technically, yes, there could be a seed phrase for Web Wallet, but it's only we never show it to the user as in a seed phrase form.
I see what you mean. Thanks a lot for clarifying all these steps, and I would like to highlight some of them, like the topping up one, where you said you basically want to implement a way where users won't have to worry about depositing any amount of money before knowing what they want to do. but you basically want to create a flow where once the user decides what he wants to do, for example, on Unframed, and he wants to buy an NFT, automatically in the transaction that will lead him to buy the NFT, there will be basically the process of depositing money into his account. And some of that money or all of that money will be used to buy the NFT. Have I got it right?
Exactly, that's right.
Very good, very nice. I like this feature. And the other one is like if we want to simplify the the point that you made about the fact that you don't hold a seed phrase, the seed phrase of the users. It's like when the user generates. Obviously, I'm like making a very simple comparison, but like when a user generates an account with the Argent Web Wallet, basically there's like a kind of a folder that gets generated and gets stored in the Argent server, and then it is accessible only with the email and the password of the user, right? Is it more or less?
Exactly. So there's a file that gets sent to Argent, but that file is encrypted by the user's password. So even if Argent wanted to access it, we can't really know what that contains. So only the user, by entering their password, they can decrypt it and get the contents of that. And
I
a
see.
natural question would be, what if the user loses their password? In that case, if the user loses their password, they can always go to another device if they had logged in there before, because that device will have the necessary keys to access their account. But if they don't remember it, um, they can contact Argent and start that 7-day recovery period that we include by default on all our accounts. It's basically the same thing as Argent Shield on Argent X, but all web wallet accounts have it by default. So yeah, if you lose your password, you can contact Argent and ask for that recovery that will take 7 days.
Very nice, Ismael. I actually wanted to ask you about this question, but yeah, I'll come up with another one. But in the meanwhile, I would like to shout out to some of the friends who joined us in the meanwhile. Hello, Fabio. Hello, Exodus. Hello, Venesoft. Hello, Luis. Hello, Marta. Hello, Bazat. Hello, Julien. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thanks a lot for coming. And having said that, I wanted to know what are the next developments that you plan to execute on these web wallets, apart besides the topping up one, the one regarding topping up the account that you already explained to us. Are there any sides that you think you should improve in the near future? And how also are you going to promote this feature along in the Starknet space and also beyond? Are you also implementing it? I don't know, on ZK Sync. Obviously, this is extra Starknet stuff, but just to discuss. And yeah, what do you have in plans?
So I'll start with the last one. For now, we're very focused on Starknet, on web wallets. So for now, it's only going to be Starknet specific. Also, there's two things that we can, or two main areas where we can improve quite a lot the web wallet experience. So remember that for a user to use web wallet, the dApp actually has to integrate it, and that means they have to install the web wallet SDK on their dApp. Right now, this process is quite easy, but we can make it even easier, and there's a lot to improve on that front. Yeah, we would like to also create tutorials and better documentation for dApps, or especially new developers that come into the space, to know how to create a dApp and format the transaction when they send it to the wallet and all that stuff. There's still a lot of work to be done on that front, and we think we can help quite a lot on that. Also, like creating React components that the developers can reuse on their dApps, so that their dApps feel a bit more user friendly. So yeah, there's a lot we can do on the developer experience on that front. But on the user facing side of things, there's still a lot to improve. The onboarding, the on-ramp experience is good, but we think it could be way better. And also for users that use MetaMask or other Ethereum wallets right now, we could offer a way to directly send funds from their existing wallets to over to Starknet directly. So that's one thing. We're also exploring the session keys on Web Wallet, which would be quite interesting. Well, in general, session keys is something that we're exploring for all Argent products, but yeah, it's something that yeah, would be interesting to have on Web Wallet. And also the WebAuthn integration, which basically would allow users to get rid of their password or not have to enter it that often to unlock their web wallet. So ideally with WebAuthn, what we could do is that when you go to a new device, you have to go through the usual flow of entering your email, entering your password. But from then on, in order to unlock your wallet, instead of entering the password, you could just use biometrics to unlock it. And that would be a great UX improvement for Web Wallet.
Fair enough, Ismael. Thanks a lot, and really looking forward to seeing these developments being put in place in the Argentex wallet. And well, a question for our listeners. So, guys, do you have any questions for Ismael? If so, feel free to either leave a comment below this space or just sending us the request to speak, and I'll be glad to grant it to you. I'll give you like 20 seconds of time to do so. And in the meanwhile, yeah, I found interesting also the fact that you're experimenting with session keys, which is something that really fascinates me. And yeah, because you know the autonomous world scene is growing every day more on Starknet, and there's also going to be an autonomous world focused Twitter space tomorrow, hosted by JK from a Pixel Law, a project that won the last IT Global hackathon in the Starknet category. And I'm also going to be a guest of their space tomorrow, and they're going to speak about autonomous world. And obviously, session keys are going to play a pivotal role there, because it is something that allows you, for those who don't know it, it allows you to sign, you know, to automatically sign in-game transactions. You know, you basically give the permission to your wallet to sign a specific type of transactions, of, in this case, in-game transactions. And this is a key feature that will also allow the Starknet on-chain game scene to express itself fully in the near future. So looking forward to seeing what you come out with regarding session keys. And well, let me see if there are any questions. I don't think so. Yeah, exactly. There are no questions. So this was a light, light edition of the Star Cafe. Thanks a lot, Ismael, for clarifying to us and for explaining to us how the Argent Web Wallet works. And we learned a lot for sure. And I look forward to hosting you once again for another disruptive feature by Argent.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here and allowing us the chance to explain a bit more about how it works. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next instances of Star Cafe.
Thanks a lot once again, Ismael, and thanks a lot also to our dear listeners for coming. Thanks Exodus, Fabio, Calcutat, House Something, Venisoft, Luis, Kodawari, Marta, Bazat, and all the others. It's now time to close this cafe. Remember to share the Starknet vibe and see you the next time. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye, Ismael.
Bye bye.
Take care.